The Untouchables and the Pax Britannica by Babasaheb Ambedkar. Part 99. It is notorious that at the beginning of its career, the British had a dread and a horror of the consequences of permitting the diffusion of Christian truth. But it is not quite as notorious that the British at the same time were showing a corresponding respect for native prejudices. Mr. Ward, a missionary in Calcutta, records in his journal for 1802 the following fact. Last week, a deputation from the government went in procession to Kali Ghat and made a thank offering to his goddess of the Hindus in the name of the company for the success which the British have lately obtained in this country. 5,000 rupees were offered. Several thousand natives witnessed the English presenting their offerings to this idol. We have been much grieved at this act in which the natives exult over us. Another illustration of the same is furnished by Mr. Robert Lindsay, who was a civilian in the employment of the East India Company in the time of Warren Hastings. Describing his initiation into his new office of resident at Sylhet, he says, I was now told that it was customary for the new resident to pay his respect to the shrine of the tutelary saint Shah Jalol. Pilgrims of the Islam faith flocked to the shrine from every part of India and afterwards found that the fanatics attending the tomb were not a little dangerous. It was not my business to combat religious prejudices, and I therefore went in state, as others had done before me, left my shoes on the threshold, and deposited on the tomb 5 gold mohurs as an offering. Being thus purified, I returned to my dwelling and received the homage of my subjects. How much the British government had become associated with and interested in for supporting native prejudices can be seen from the following memorial, which was submitted to the government of Madras by Bishop Corey in 1833. The instances cited in the memorial were these. First, that it is now required of Christian servants of the government, both civil and military, to attend to heathen and Mohammedan religious festivals with the view of showing them respect. Second, that in some instances they are called upon to present offerings and to do homage to idols. Third, that the impure and degrading services of the pagodas are now carried on under the supervision and control of the principal European and therefore Christian officers of the government, and the management of regulation of the revenues and endowments. Both of these pagodas and mosques so vested in them under the provision of Regulation 7 of 1817 that no important idolatrous ceremony can be performed, no attendant of the various idols, not even the prostitutes of the temple, be entertained or discharged, nor the least expense incurred without the official concurrence and orders of the Christian functionary. Fourth, that British officers with the troops of the government are also now employed in firing salutes and in otherwise rendering homage to Mohammedan and idolatrous ceremonies even on the Sabbath day. And Christians are thus not unfrequently compelled by the authority of the government to desecrate their own most sacred institutions and to take part in unholy and degrading superstitions. This is enough to show that the British government in India, not content with their exertions to suppress the diffusion of the saving truths of the gospel, was openly and authoritatively aiding and abetting the worst forms of devil worship. That they were taking all the hideous indecencies of revolting cruelties of Hinduism under their especial patronage, sending their own masters of the ceremonies to preside over the hellish orgies, and with paternal tenderness managing the property of the idol temples, pampering the priests, cherishing the dancing girls, and doing such honor to heathen is generally, as was best calculated, to maintain it in a high state of exultant obesity. In the end.